Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today this is going to be a hands-on, honest review of the Philips Airfryer 4000 series. This is not sponsored, I paid for this with my own money, and after using it for a while, there are definitely things I love about it, and also a few things that really annoyed me. If you're thinking about buying the Philips 4000 series, watch this video all the way through because there are some downsides you really should know before spending your money. All right, let's get into it. Unboxing and first impressions. When I first unboxed the Philips 4000, the initial impression was pretty positive. The build quality feels solid, the plastic doesn't feel cheap or flimsy, and the design is fairly clean and modern. It's not one of those super futuristic-looking appliances, but it looks nice enough to keep on the countertop. The basket slides in and out smoothly. The handle feels sturdy, which is important when you're pulling out a tray full of hot food. Inside, there's a removable inner tray or mesh that lets the hot air circulate around the food. That's pretty standard for modern air fryers, but Philips' tray design feels a bit more refined than some super budget models. One thing that did stand out immediately, the control panel. It has a digital display, touch controls, and preset icons. It looks nice and feels like something from a more premium product line. Setup and ease of use. Setup is very straightforward. You basically remove all the plastic and stickers, wash the basket and tray, plug it in, you're ready to cook. The interface is fairly intuitive. You press the power button, select a preset or adjust the temperature and time manually, and hit start. The temperature range is typical for an air fryer, and there are presets for common foods like fries, chicken, fish, maybe even cake or baking, depending on your model. However, here's one minor downside. The icons and presets are not always perfectly clear. If you're new to air fryers, you might find yourself squinting at the little pictures wondering, is that supposed to be chicken wings or just a drumstick? The manual helps, but it's not super detailed. After a few uses, you'll remember which is which. But the learning curve for absolute beginners is a little steeper than it needs to be. Another thing worth mentioning, the beep sounds. Every time you press a button, it beeps. When it finishes cooking, it beeps again. It's not insanely loud, but if you're sensitive to beeping kitchen gadgets or you have a sleeping baby in the next room, this might annoy you. Cooking performance. Now, let's talk about what actually matters, how well this thing cooks. The very first thing I tested was the classic frozen French fries. I preheated the air fryer for a couple of minutes, tossed in a batch of fries, used the fries preset, and let it go. Around halfway, I pulled out the basket, gave it a shake, and continued cooking. The result? They came out surprisingly good. Crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and evenly browned. There were very few undercooked or pale fries, which is something cheaper air fryers sometimes struggle with. The hot air circulation in this Philips model seems to be quite efficient. Next, I tried chicken wings. This is where air fryers usually shine. I seasoned the wings with salt, pepper, and a little oil, just a tiny drizzle. I set the temperature, used roughly 20 to 25 minutes, flipping them once halfway through. The wings came out with a really nice crisp skin, and the meat stayed juicy. No raw spots, no weird rubbery texture. In terms of taste, these could absolutely replace deep-fried wings for most people, especially if you're trying to cut down on oil. I also tested a few other things. Frozen breaded fish fillets, homemade potato wedges, a small batch of vegetables like broccoli and bell peppers, reheating leftover pizza. For all of these, the air fryer performed very well. Reheated pizza was crisp again on the base. The vegetables had a nice roasted flavor without being soggy. The fish was crunchy on the outside and flaky on the inside. So, in terms of raw cooking performance, the Philips 4000 series does what it promises. It gives you fast, fairly even cooking with much less oil than deep frying. Noise and smell. Another point, noise level. The Philips 4000 series has a fan, and like any air fryer, it makes a noticeable hum when it's running. It's not jet engine loud, but if your kitchen is open to your living room, you will definitely hear it over a normal conversation or TV at low volume. On the good side, cooking smells are a lot more contained compared to deep frying. You don't get that heavy, oily smell clinging to your kitchen for hours. You still smell food, especially with things like fish or heavily spiced dishes, but it's much less intense. Cleaning and maintenance. Cleaning is where air fryers can either win you over or make you regret buying them. With the Philips 4000 series, cleaning is mostly okay, with a few caveats. The basket and the inner tray are removable and, depending on your model, technically dishwasher safe. However, in practice, a lot of people just rinse them in the sink because they don't always fit comfortably in smaller dishwashers. Here's what cleaning's like after a typical session of wings or fries. If you line the bottom with parchment paper, with holes, or use very little oil, most food residue stays on the tray and comes off easily with warm soapy water. If you cook something very greasy or marinated, oil collects at the bottom and can form stubborn, baked-on spots. You will need a soft sponge or brush. Avoid metal scrubbing pads because you don't want to scratch the nonstick coating. The nonstick is decent, but like any nonstick surface, you have to treat it carefully to keep it from wearing off. One downside, there are a few nooks and edges in the basket design where crumbs and grease like to hide. It's not impossible to clean, but it's not as quick as just rinsing a flat baking tray. Also, because the unit itself is large and not very light, wiping down the outside and the inside walls can be a bit awkward if you keep it under a cabinet. You might end up pulling it forward every time you want to clean it properly. Energy use and speed. In terms of speed, this air fryer is a time saver, especially compared to a traditional oven. It heats up fast. For many foods, you don't even strictly need to preheat, although preheating for a few minutes can help with crispiness. A batch of fries or wings takes significantly less time than using a full-sized oven, and you're not wasting energy heating a huge oven cavity just for a small portion of food. If you care about electricity usage, air fryers like this are generally more efficient for small to medium portions. For big family meals, though, using a regular oven might make more sense if you're cooking multiple trays at once. Downsides and annoyances. Now, here are a few more things that might bother some people. First, the price. Philips is not the cheapest brand on the market. You can find generic or lesser-known air fryers at significantly lower prices, sometimes with bigger baskets or more features. What you're paying for here is brand reputation, build quality, and to some extent more consistent cooking performance. But if you're on a tight budget, the Philips 4000 series may feel a bit expensive for what it offers. Second, the preset accuracy. While the presets are convenient, they aren't always perfect. For some foods, the default time is either slightly too long or too short. That means you have to learn to adjust manually and check your food. It's not a huge problem, but the marketing sometimes gives the impression that you just press a button and everything is perfect every time. In reality, there's still some trial and error. Third, size and storage. If you live in a small apartment or have a tiny kitchen, this is a chunk of real estate on your counter. It doesn't easily fit into every cabinet. If you need to move it in and out of storage every time you use it, you might end up using it less often than you thought. Lastly, no air fryer can truly fry in the way that deep oil does. You get a very good approximation, crispy and tasty, but if you're expecting exactly that deep fried texture and flavor, especially for certain foods, you might be slightly disappointed. That's not a flaw of this specific model, just the technology in general, but it's worth mentioning. Final thoughts and rating. Overall, after using the Philips Airfryer 4000 series, the experience is mostly positive. It's reliable, it cooks evenly, and it genuinely makes it easier to prepare quick, relatively healthy meals and snacks. The downsides, like capacity limitations, price, and some cleaning quirks, are real, but not deal breakers for most people. If this air fryer disappeared from the kitchen tomorrow, it would definitely be missed. It's not perfect, but it's a solid, everyday appliance that has actually changed how often fried-style food is cooked at home. If you found this review helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more honest tech and kitchen gadget reviews, and drop any questions you have about the Philips 4000 series in the comments below. Also, if you already use an air fryer, let everyone know which model you have and what you think of it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.